Okay, I haven't done an update in quite a while, so we're going to do one today. And I've got to leave shortly to go to Dallas to a customer site up there. So I've been here for about 2 weeks, back from Dresden. Lost a few days to other things I needed to get done after having been gone so long. Also, I lost a few days to problems with the CNC, but I've got that fixed and it's running really well now, actually better than it probably ever has. So got a little bit done, got a little bit of an update. So I'm gonna turn the camera around. Okay, side speakers, 3 on each side of the room. This is gonna be for grill cloth. It's gonna be wrapped in grill cloth and then magnetically attached to the sides of the speakers. So I know in my last update I mentioned I was planning to do inverted ground plane CBTs, but there's a problem with that. Putting those against the ceiling, they're a constant height relative to the ceiling, but not a constant height relative to the seating. So I think this is a much better route to use a full CBT. And what we're going to have here is we're going to have 12 Peerless 4-inch drivers, and we're going to have 13 little GRS planar tweeters, and of course it's open baffle dipole CBT. So there'll be 2 inches of rock wool down in here to kind of absorb what's hitting the wall, and then of course having the sides open allows you to have the dipole null to get rid of the radiation to the side, so make them more directional. So, but the idea of having a full CBT, I can make it a constant height relative to the seating. So each row, so these are the bases they're going to sit on. This is it's going to be just a floor to ceiling column. The speaker is part of the column. The speaker sits on top of these things. I've created a little bit of a compartment in the bottom. Of course, this is all going to be filled with rock wool to just be in the sound absorber. But this bottom part is an LED compartment. And as you can see here, there's going to be a gap across the front and a little ways back on each side where the LED light. I'll just use red LEDs. Red doesn't mess with your night vision, so I'm not going to mess with RGB. I don't really know why people would want to. I mean, I guess they just like the way it looks, but red is the obvious color to not mess with night vision. So there'll be red LEDs in the base of all of these. Nice red glow coming out from under them. Probably going to use some kind of a stainable wood on the sides, and also trim piece down the front edges there. And of course up here will also be trimmed out nice. And then these pieces, the same exact piece as the side there to make the grills with. So the thing about that is it leaves the 1/4 inch gap from the 1/4 inch material here. So I'll get some kind of stainable trim, kind of like this, if you can see that, and just mount that on the edge. I put the grill cloth on first and then have this trim piece wrapped around it, so it'll be a nice accent trim, and hopefully it'll make them look nice. I mean, right now they look like crap, I know, because it's just MDF, but once they're all finished out, hopefully they'll look nice. And then of course the top of the speaker will be basically this same concept, except it'll be shorter because it goes up to the ceiling. And of course, because the floor is raised, like these will be the ones for the back row. They're not very long because the ceiling won't be very far away. And then the middle row is a little bit longer. And then the front row actually is where the ceiling is a full 11 feet. So, but actually it's 10-foot sidewall. So these are actually going to go up to the top of the 10-foot sidewall, and then I'll cut the 45-degree slope. And actually, I think the only reason these have these cutouts here is because I just copied and pasted that part over. But actually, these will all get cut to length, so didn't really need those cutouts like that. But it'll all get cut to length to fit to match the ceiling. But so you'll basically have the same thing as this, except shorter and tied to the ceiling at the top. So anyway, let's just kind of put the camera down for a second, lay one of these out so you can kind of see roughly what I'm talking about. Okay, so we just got this kind of laid out here. You know, this, you can imagine this is the floor right there, and then the column comes up. Speaker sets on top of the column. I could get better light by getting on the other side with the sun shining in here. There we go. So, and then I don't really have any of the top pieces built yet because that'll have to be, I'll do that after everything is assembled and against the wall in the theater. But see if I can make one of these just kind of stand there, maybe. There we go. That's good enough. So that will represent the top section that will be like this down here. So, and then just a nice floor to ceiling decorative column. Of course, hopefully it'll look a lot better once it's finished, and it's got some, you know, stainable sides on the wood. And of course, this is going to be a grill cloth over this that's going to be trimmed on the front edge of it. I don't think I'm going to put any kind of a grill cloth over the drivers. I think that I'm just going to let the drivers be visible because I think they look cool. So we'll go in the house and see one of these that's got the drivers already just laying in there, not screwed down, but just laying there so you can kind of visualize what it's going to look like with the drivers in it. So let's go do that. Okay, here we go. So here we have the 12 Peerless 4-inch drivers. Just dropped into place, nothing screwed down yet. It's a long ways from having this baffle ready to actually put drivers in. And then you can see the little GRS planers. So, and this is a full CBT. So in the center, it's going to be operating full output, and then of course attenuating toward the ends. And the height, the bottom of the speaker will be roughly head height. So the guy that's sitting next to this one will be listening to the attenuated end of it, whereas the whole speaker is broadcasting across to the far side of the room. So we'll have to see how it goes, but I think probably a dB or so difference for the guy sitting right next to it versus the guy on the opposite side of the room. That's the advantage of line arrays, and in particular CBT line arrays are even better than that at a conventional unshaded line array. So anyway, so that's what that's going to look like. And hopefully I'll have, well, I'm leaving today Sunday. I'm leaving today to go to Dallas to a customer site up there. I'll be coming back next Sunday, and then the following Saturday I go back to Dresden. So I'll have almost a week to get some more done on these, and hopefully I'll have another update for you then. But that's it for the moment.